Hi, here we are, the three silver strands. Welcome back. Anyways, we're going to start with MJ today, and our topic is fearfully and wonderfully made.
So guess what I'm going to read? I'm basically going to read the verse in three different versions of books, Bibles. And the first one is a Common English Bible, and it's verse 14 of Psalms 139. I give thanks to you that I was marvelously set apart. Your works are wonderful. I know that very well. In the English Standard Version, it says, I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it very well. And then in the, what is that called? Uh, Now I got to look. New American Standard Bible, verse 14 says, I will give thanks to you because I am awesomely and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works, and my soul knows it very well. Um, I like to kind of go to different types of Bibles to really give you a, a different perspective, I guess you could say, of just how much God wants us to know how precious you are in His sight, and that we are fearfully and wonderfully made, right? And that's our topic for today. So that's all I'm going to share right now.
I like that verse. That's one of my life verses for me. I put that verse up on my bathroom wall for 5 years. It was a long time I had it up there because I had this big empty wall with all this space in the bathroom. And every time I walked in the bathroom, I would read that verse and remind myself about how God had crafted me and made me in His image, and that there was nothing to be fearful of, and that everything was wonderful in the sight of God's eyes. I think that it's so important that you find something in the Bible that really speaks to your heart that way.
Mhm.
And because it was the one thing that helped pull me out of my depression. And my depression had lasted such a long time that I didn't know how to pull out of it. But finding one verse that really spoke to my heart and helped me focus on the Lord more than it helped than focusing on all of the things that were going on around me. It just it was so tremendous. And that was the one verse that I focused on every day. So, how many times, you go to the bathroom all day long? I was reading that verse every time I walked in. So, sometimes 6, 7, 8 times a day, I'd walk in the bathroom and read that verse over and over and over. And it always meant so very much to me.
Mhm.
So, I'm glad that you read that today.
Yeah.
It makes me think too. One of the videos that I shared was that in my book that I'm about to publish, Adventures with Amazing and Friends, Amazing Papa in the Storm, there's just a tiny little verse in there, or verse, I should say, a little line in there where Papa goes to comfort Amazing. And the way I describe it is he puts his arms around her like a coat. And I think just sometimes that's that's the way God's word works with us, is that um, he clothes us with his word. And when he clothes us with his word, there's that comfort, the true comfort. Like we can have temporal comfort, like putting a jacket on when it's cold, or blowing your nose because it's stuffy, or just whatever it may be. Those are temporal things, right? But the everlasting comfort is when we are able to do that, when we're able to look at God's word and know that it's solid, but it can penetrate, and that it's life to our bones, our very core. And when we can sit on that and really accept that, really trust that that's what that's like you suddenly have this peace that passes all understanding. You go out with peace, and which then brings joy. But before Irene shares, I just want to, this is from the Passion Translation. And it says, verse 14, Psalms 139 says, I thank you, God, for making me so mysteriously complex. Everything you do is marvelously breathtaking. It simply amazes me to think about it. I didn't even mean to do that. How thoroughly you know me, Lord. That's,
I love that verse too. And it also
yeah.
says later that the thoughts of us actually outnumber the
Mm,
sands
mm,
on the shore, which is really quite incredible. That is the God we serve. It's just amazing.
it
Amazing.
is. Mm,
That's your
he's
book.
So,
so good.
Irene, you have something special for us today.
Well, I have my latest book. It's called The Magnificent Artist Spreading the Word, because that is who made us fearfully and wonderfully, is the magnificent artist. And this is about a little slug that didn't think he was very fearfully and wonderfully made. He had a lot of fears and was afraid to live life the way the artist planned. So here it is, The Magnificent Artist Spreading the Word. Bella the butterfly and Robin the bird were out flittering and fluttering, spreading the word. They had promised the magnificent artist to share his great love, especially to all who hadn't yet heard. They bumped into Ted, the sad-looking slug, who was peeking out of a pile of dead leaves, mushrooms, and grubs. Dear friend, the two said, you're clearly upset. Please, oh, please tell us, what is making you fret? Ted explained to the two his tale of woe, why his slide and his glide just would not go. I'm afraid, Ted admitted, and maybe perhaps a great big old lion is lurking outside. It's better I stay in, it's much safer to hide. He may frighten me so with his big scary roar, or stomp me to pieces, making me part of the forest floor. And to make matters worse, I'm hungry, I'm starving, and my tummy is sore. Would you bring me food? I'll be safe to you. Rotting plants, fungi, or old tree roots will do. Oh dear, the friends said, wringing their hands. Ted is scared to live life the way the artist had planned. Tell him our stories of freedom we found, and how trusting the artist is firm, solid ground. Robin was first singing with all his might about how the artist helped his gift of song come to light. I doubted myself, he sang and explained, for all who had heard me held their ears in such pain. I squeaked and I squawked in a terrible way, but the artist said, trust me, I'll give you sweet music to play. Beautiful words pointing others to me, and to hope and to freedom, and to seize every day. I gave up my fear of sounding so bad And now I sing songs making his heart and mine very glad. Ted listened carefully to his friend's words. Then Bella shared her story, different than the birds. I was a caterpillar, so wanting to fly, watching beautiful butterflies high in the sky. The artist taught me patience, to trust he'd give me the wings to display his greatness among other things. Now I'm free to fly in figure eights, land on flowers, and help pollinate. Ted said, that's nice for you too, but what is my job? I'm afraid to go out like the both of you do. Ask the artist, he'll show you the way to hope and to freedom like we have today. He'll help you, Robin and Bella both said. Call out to him so you can get out of your bed. Then Ted cried out, dear artist, please show me the way. I'm afraid to slide and glide. I'm afraid to seize the day. I feel tiny and small in this forest so big. An animal may step on me thinking I'm a twig. The artist smiled on, beaming with love. Oh, the hopes and the dreams he had planned for this slug. Consider the ants, how they work together, gathering food for themselves and to share with each other. Tell me, dear Ted, could you do the same? Could you work with others so you'd have less care? Who would eat dead leaves and things if you were not there? The forest would be piled high with rotting stuff if you hide. Live life to the fullest. Give it a try. You are such an amazing, strong little guy. Then Ted stretched with all his might and started to slide and glide. A beautiful sight. Others soon appeared, snails, worms, and slugs. Would you like to be friends? Asked one of the bugs. We can work as a team, ridding the forest of waste, making the soil better, he said, with a smile on his face. Ted agreed this was better than just staying in bed. Count me in. And with a grin, that's all that he said. Then they munched and had so much fun. Let's do this tomorrow, declared the snails and the bugs. Why stop with tomorrow, Ted said with a wink. Together forever, what do you think? Sliding and gliding with his new friends to boot, eating rotting plants, fungi, and old tree roots, Ted the slug decided right then and there that life was a hoot. Robin and Bella felt mighty grand. Their new friend would be living life as the artist had planned. The magnificent artist danced for joy with delight, as another one of his creatures was now free to live life with all their might. And that is the magnificent artist spreading the word. And if you get that book, you can get it on Amazon.
It's so pretty too. Look at all those colors.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
You did a great job, Irene. I love it.
Love the story. Yes. Oma.
And it fits so well with our theme.
It's fearfully and wonderfully made, even a slug. God
Even
has purposes for slugs.
I love it. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to talk to you guys today about taking care of yourself. So, a lot of things are out there about self care, and you can go a couple of different directions on this, right? So, some people want to say, well, self care is all about manis and petties and massages and, all of the extras in life. And I'm not of that same mindset. Those are nice. They're nice to have. Sometimes they're necessary. But my version of self care is making sure that you're taken care of before you wear yourself down so far that you can't take care of anything else. And that comes with the idea of putting your mask on first. So, if you're up in an airplane and they talk about the plane is going to go down, what is the first thing that they tell you to do? They tell you to put your mask on first, right? And then you put masks on other people around you if they're not able to do that. The reason they do that is because you can't hold your breath for so long while you help somebody else. And usually people that are in panic situations, those kinds of things, they can't help themselves because they're too busy with everything that's going on around them. And as mothers, as wives, as friends, and just as women in general, I think we have so many things on our plates. We think about everybody else all of the time, but we don't recognize that when we don't take care of ourselves, sometimes situations get worse because we are not in a position to actually help appropriately. Sometimes it makes us sick. We get worn down. We're not able to do the things that we have called on our lives. And so for me, it's really, really important that my self care looks very different than everybody else's does. So I'm going to give you my top 3 tips on what I do for my personal self care. And the first one is to reduce stress. Now, how do you reduce stress? So for me, I need more sleep and I need better sleep. And to get better sleep, I have to set myself up for the next day. We talked about that before in another episode. And so for me, setting myself up for the next day at night makes certain that I'm going to be able to make better decisions the next day. I also have to eat better. So if I'm stressed out, I cannot go to fast food every night. Fast food every night actually makes my body sick. It makes me run down. And even though I feel like I'm getting more sleep because I'm run down, I'm actually not getting better sleep. And so it takes me back to that first thing where I have to get better sleep. And so I have to eat well in order to make sure that happens. And then some other little things that I do with that is I might have special breathing exercises, or I walk each morning, and that helps the endorphins to increase and helps to relieve the stress as well. My second tip is to choose one special thing just for you. So maybe that is a mani pedi this week, or getting your hair cut, or getting a massage. But for me, sometimes that one special thing is cleaning off my desk so that I can sit at my desk and do a project. Sometimes it's making sure the dishes are done earlier in the day so that I can get dinner on the table in a more timely manner. Sometimes it's making sure the toilet is clean because I know that the kids in the house have been sick, and if my toilet is clean, I know that I have a safe place to go throw up when I get sick. And that seems like a really strange thing to think about, but if my toilet's clean every week, I'm not worried about getting sick. And if my desk is cleaned off, I'm not worried about starting my new project. Or if a drawer is cleaned out, my business is called It Starts with a Drawer for a reason. If a drawer is cleaned out, I don't think about the mess that's inside of it anymore. And so those kinds of things can actually be a special thing just for you, even though it seems like it's work or it seems like it's extra. Doing that one extra thing each week actually cuts down my stress, cuts down my thought processes, and helps me do what I need to do for myself. And then the third thing that I do is I dream. And this was a really hard concept for me until I met this really special lady, and she explained all about what dreaming was about. You know, when we're children, we dream about being older, and we dream about, you know, doing those special things. When you become a little bit older as women, sometimes as young women, we dream about being that princess in a marriage, or doing something special with our lives, maybe going on some incredible fantastic trip that we're going to meet somebody new, or do missions training and things like that. As we get older, we dream about our job that we really want to have, or the children that we want to give birth to. And so for me, I started very early in my life, and I started a bucket list. So I add to my bucket list. And when I sat down with my bucket list a few years ago, I found that I had over 100 items that I had accomplished by the time I was 50. So I was accomplishing more than 2 things a year just by writing it down. So the idea is that whenever you write your dreams down, it makes your brain realize that there's more to life going to happen, and it helps you remember the things that you really want to do, and it gives you a direction or a next step to get there. So this next week, next week we have plans to go do one of my bucket list items that I didn't have for many years because I'm super afraid of heights, and I'm super claustrophobic, and fear tends to take over my life. But because I am fearfully and wonderfully made, I was able to add some new things to my bucket list. And so next week I am going to go, um, oh no, what is it called? Uh, just literally lost my word, you guys. Uh, but it's where you go on a wire, you know, like through the trees and stuff.
Line?
Zip line.
Zip lining. I get to go zip lining next week. But here's what's so funny. So years and years ago, when my grandparents died, one of my dreams became I wanted to go to Ireland. And when I was 51, I got to Ireland.
Yay.
When I was 5, I wanted to be a teacher. And when I had my children, I became their teacher, and I homeschooled. And now I'm in my last year of homeschooling, and I've been homeschooling for 29 years. When we dream, it stirs up excitement, it stirs up joy, and it gets you excited about the next steps that you're going to take in your life. So I'm always really excited to look at my bucket list and start my next dream. So those are my 3 top tips for self-care.
That's cool. Hey, I remember you went on a hot air balloon too.
Last year I got to go on a hot air
That's
balloon.
right.
Yes. Yeah.
Got over your
Isn't that
fear.
cool?
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
It was I all we did was go up and down. We didn't even fly, but
I probably could, but I'd be like this. Tell me when it's over.
it was nice. It was fun. It was loud. You would
Yeah,
not believe how loud that blower is for uh, the
Yeah, hot
you
air.
know, putting the air up, the
hot
hot
air.
air up into the balloon. It's so loud, and it was so hot. Oh my gosh, I was sweating the whole time, not from
Oh,
fear, but because it was hot. But yeah, all we did was go up and down. But you know what? Sometimes those little steps are better than no steps at all.
yep,
And I'm just so proud of myself for being able to go up in that hot air balloon.
that
It was
is
a big deal. Or to fly across the ocean to Ireland, or to give birth to 5 children, or, you know, the dreams that we have in our lives are so important, and it has made a huge difference in my life.
that is fantastic.
Hmm. Hmm. Nice.
What's one of your most important dreams right now that you're looking forward to?
Me looking after my grandchildren. Yeah, so that means us relocating probably. So, but yeah, so that is a dream that I'll be able to daycare my grandchildren. Well, their parents go to work or just because they want to spend time with Oma.
right. MJ, what's one of your dreams right now?
Well, like you, I've had a lot of on my bucket list, and I'm so grateful and thankful that I've had a lot of them check marked.
Mhm.
And um, I remember a long time ago telling my dad when he was still here that there were two things that I wanted to do in life, and one was to be able to dance before the Lord, and then the other one was to be able to travel. And um, I've been able to, have the privilege of being able to do both. So um, I think at this point in my life, it's similar to what Irene was saying. I would love to just be able to. I don't know. I'm just so thankful for so much that's already happened. But it would be fun to do some sort of an excursion with my grandchildren. Um,
Mhm.
you know, uh, my husband Todd and I have gone on many, traveled many different countries and stuff, and have been able to experience just new culture and meet new people. We've made friends across the world, and we stay friends. So it's just been um, uh, it's just something that I'm very grateful for, and I don't want to take advantage or take it for granted. And so I don't know. I think I wouldn't mind going to Ireland. That's for sure. I would absolutely love to go to Ireland. That would be part of my traveling. Um, uh, I had a vision about going on a high wire. I don't know if that's ever been on the radar, and I'm still not sure if that's really what I want to do. But um, I don't know. Yeah, probably those two things. Just taking my children on a fun trip somewhere, and continue to check off the traveling
Mhm.
places on my bucket list. So yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I need to do more on my bucket list too. That would be. But I have a funny story to tell you about the zip line.
Okay.
It was our, we have a group of friends and they all know I'm afraid of heights. So we went on an amazing race. It was Alan's 40th birthday party. So anyways, we had to go, to these different events and we had to do them. And one of the events was, and we had to go in a car, and we were with Sherry and I forgot her husband's name, but anyways, they had this brand new convertible, leather seats, everything. And so we're going with them and we're racing, and we're gonna win and we're winning. We're all very and so I'm on, so the next one is a zip line and I'm going, and so we had to pick names and they're all hoping it's me because, to watch Irene go way up high. So sure enough, my name gets picked and I've got to go up and I go, and Jean goes, that's my husband. Are you sure you want to go? And I went, oh yeah, of course I'm gonna go. And everybody's going, oh, look at her, she's chicken. And I'm going up and I go up. Well, let's say there was a little bit of water happening as I went down the screen. So I had to tie my jacket around. And the next, there was a break afterwards. So so I'm going, oh, we're going to the mall. So, anyways, I whispered to my husband, I go, we're going to bootlegger, and get new jeans. So I go, have you got my, I told her my size and she goes, oh, here you go. And I go, oh, great. Oh, I love them. I'm going to wear them out. Would you like me to put your jeans in a bag? And I go, oh no, I'll do that. I'll do So nobody's all the wiser.
No.
So, but I had to kind of sit like this, in the car with the seat. I was like, oh my goodness. But thank goodness my jacket was nice and thick, you know. Oh, that was very embarrassing. But yes, I went on a zip line, a very high zip line.
I'll make sure to take care of those things before I get on it next week.
Yeah, I went on a zip line in Costa Rica, and we went with my cousin and her husband, and it was 6,000 feet above sea level. So yeah, it was over the jungle canopy or the rainforest canopy or whatever you call it.
That sounds
But
amazing.
oh yeah, and I'm really proud of my cousin because she was probably a lot like Irene. It was like, oh yeah, no, I don't know about this. I don't know about this, and we were in a van, driving up to the point where we were supposed to, do this, and the van died.
Oh,
So halfway up, so we had to get out of the van and walk the rest of the way. So, and she's had, uh, she had some physical situations which made it a little bit of a challenge for her to walk, but she did it. We took our time and we, made it up to that point, and then she buckled herself in, and there she went ziplining. So I would say if my cousin can do it, you could do it, Marlena. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I know
I
I can
thought it
do it.
was fun. So.
I'm actually more afraid of the dentist than I am to go ziplining. So I
Yeah,
think we're gonna
same
be okay.
here. I
Prepare
told
for
my
this.
dentist,
It'll be fine.
I know, I told my dentist I would rather have 10 babies than anything to
It's
do with my
true.
mouth. Don't touch my mouth.
True.
Uh,
Actually, the dentist doesn't bother me. I actually fell asleep one time. Yeah.
They have to drug me for that.
yeah, seriously.
A lot.
Yeah,
Well, it was when
right.
my kids were
Yeah.
really, really tiny, and I think I was just so tired. It was like, oh, here I am lying down and you're
Um,
on my mouth.
mhm. Yeah. I will
Sleep.
tell you that when I my 50th birthday year, my husband surprised me when we were in Costa Rica. I was able to go up on a trapeze in the middle of the jungle, top of the mountain, and I stood in between two women half my age, and I climbed up that place. Let me tell you, I have a video of it. He ended up videotaping it. I might put it up on my community page um, at some point. But
Yeah.
I actually showed up one of them. I mean, she did eventually do it, but it took her a time or two to finally get through the whole thing because you have to. There's a lot prepping before you could do that. And so, yeah, that was on my bucket list. So I
Good for
was
you.
pretty proud of that. Yeah.
I'll be happy to be strapped in. It'll be good. Trapezes are not, no, that's too much freedom.
Uh, well, you have a belt that's around you and it's connected. So, and you
Oh,
can see
good.
it when I put the video on, you can see that you are totally attached. Um, but it's the whole rhythm of it, and then it's listening to the artist, um, give his command, and you have to go right as soon as he says it because of the rhythm. The man that's on the other trapeze, and you have to get in the right swing
Right.
to be able to meet and then catch. And, but yeah, I did gymnastics half my life, so it was just something that I've always wanted to do. And I don't know if I could do it again, honestly. I'd like to say I could, but it's a lot. A lot has happened that many
Right.
years ago.
Yeah.
Cool.
The joy of being, a
Yeah.
lot has happened in our lives.
Mm. Mm.
Well, thank you, ladies, so much for
Mm.
today and
Thank you.
chatting.
Thank you. All right.
It was a good talk.
That's it for the 3 silver strands for this time. See you the next time. Bye.